the fragility of like the online black man in terms of like wanting to pull the race card, like they've got 52 cards in the deck and every single one of them says racism on it, is just, I want you to write me insults for the next, because dude, I would get destroyed.
So at the end, he was like, you're a blue-haired sissy or something. And then you were like, ooh, you're like, damn, I wish I could say what I would. Damn, it sucks because I don't want to get canceled for saying what I wanted to say. And it sucks that, you know, they get to sit there and say whatever they want. But if I were to say what I wanted to say, I would get canceled. And it sounded like you were like, ooh, I want to say something about his race.
I can't say anything without it being potentially about his race. Like, I can't make fun of the way that he looks. I can't make fun of the way that he speaks. I can't make fun of anything about him without it potentially being about race. That's the issue, right? It's just like black people are the trans people now of the internet. Where like I can't make fun of the way a trans person speaks, the way that they look, anything, because it might be transphobic. Same thing with black people. Like I don't know what I can even say without it being like racist. So it's just annoying because like these guys will go in on me. Like I've got chat rooms full of people like calling me and shit and like all sorts of like crazy shit, and that who cares, because black people and homophobia are like bread and butter online. So but I can't say anything back without it being like I got like 2 days worth of shit from half the internet because I said legion of black people, and people were like, oh my god, legion, that's like a racist word. Like what the fuck? Like I basically like had my fucking hood out saying it. So it's annoying being in that circumstance where someone can go ultra hard on you in every aspect of your life, but I don't even know like what the I'd say back. If you heard that and you think like, oh, Destiny just wants to call me N-word, then I did. Fuck it, I don't care. If you think that, then I did, because I hate black people or whatever. But the reality is just that it's annoying that when I'm dealing with certain minority sects online, they have these impenetrable like shield of like +10 homophobia where they can go as hard as they fucking want on me, and I don't even know what the fuck I can say without it counting as like extreme racism or something. That's a very irritating world for me to be in. But
okay, well, let's explore that a little bit. So you said there's not you can't say anything without it being interpreted as extreme racism.
That seems like it, yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on what you want to say, right? Like
I don't know, does it? When I identified, and now everybody's come around to this, but I thought it seemed to me like there was a legion of like online black Zoomer content creators that like screamed a whole bunch, and that was like, it felt like that was all their content. And right. That's accurate. If you look at like Speed, or if you look at Kai CNET, like that is, they do now, they're funny too, they do other stuff, but that is like a lot of their content. And now everybody else says that after grossing me for it. But people were saying that I was racist. I hated black people. I was upset that black people were becoming successful, and I'd been wanting to say something about black people for a long time. And that was like one of the most innocuous comments I've ever made about a creator. And like, if I'm gonna get like grilled and raked as being racist for that, like what, I don't know what the I can even say. You're loud? That's racist to call somebody loud because black people have been called loud in the past? Like, that's wild to me. I don't know. I don't like that environment. It just irritating.
Get it. I get where your irritation's coming from. I completely, like, trust me, I understand. Do you really honestly think that was the, because I saw you talk to a couple of people after that, like, that were, I guess, like, black creators or whatever, and none of them brought up, like, the fact that you said, so I guess their main point wasn't that you said, you know, that he was screaming, or that it seemed like their problem was with your generalization of two streamers whose clips you saw on LSF, and then generalizing that to all young black.
That's fine. I don't care. I already said, if you want to have that problem, then overgeneralizing. I can have people overgeneralize me. That's fine. But that wasn't the problem. The thing is that they had to make it racial. That Bruce guy does it all the time. He's doing it right now with Mizkif and his shit. He did it before when he got caught cheating on school. It's the desire to make it like racial is what like amps everything up like a million times over, and that's what makes it really fucking annoying to deal with.
Right, but would you agree that the good faith criticism coming out of that from the good faith people is that that you can't, it's the way you stated it made it sound like you were generalizing young black streamers. Like, I think that was,
I don't care if they think it, then I hate black people. I hope that's the message they took away. I really do. I hope that they feel that way, and I hope that, like, I can't dance around. Like, maybe this is where I fall off the edge, and that's when the like society's moved past me and I'm too old. I can't dance around it that much. Like, if people are gonna be in their feelings that much and so fucking horny, like edging themselves constantly, scratching their balls and just jerking off, just waiting for a white guy to say anything that's even remotely racist so they can blow their splooge all over the screen, I can't do that. I can't deal with it. Like, I shut on, like, we talk about XQC and Quebecians, I shut on them constantly, we've shut on women constantly, we shut on white people constantly. Like, the fragility of like the online black man in terms of like wanting to pull the race card, like they've got 52 cards in the deck and every single one of them says racism on it, is just the most infuriating thing in the world. And if it's the thing that does me in, then fine, then But no, I'm not gonna be like, don't you understand how that could be racist? No, I don't. No, I don't. I truly don't. I truly don't. And if it is to somebody, then think I'm racist. I am. I'm all the racist things they want me to be and more, if that's the case. It's just too much for me, in my mind. I understand how some people can be socialized and think it's racist, but it's way too much for me. I don't care.
I mean, and listen, if that's the route you want to go, that's fine. But just know that you're always going to have an issue with this if that's your stance.
With black people, to be clear.
Yeah.
Because Asians don't do this, Hispanics don't do this, Jews don't do this, and women barely are starting to do it, I guess. But it's the black community is the one that's the really scary one online, where if they interpret you as doing anything racist, like
Jews don't do this, but women don't do this.
For Jews, I have to start talking about like genociding them online for them to give a fuck, right? Like I can make all the.
Or you can just post a link to a movie. Like,
hey, what? What? Post a link to a movie?
Yeah. That
I know you're not talking about Kyrie.
Yeah.
He posted a link to an anti-Semitic Holocaust-denying conspiracy film.
That's what they say.
That's what it is.
Okay, I don't want to get into that whole thing, but he posted a link to a movie, like I said, and he got canceled for it. Like,
hold on. You think it's fair to criticize me for using Black Legion, or that I deserve to get, or this is what I'm going to get, but you would give a pass to Kyrie?
I'm not saying I'm giving a pass to Kyrie. I'm just countering your argument that people aren't sensitive.
Okay, well, I wish that the standards sensitive for talking about black people were the same as the standards for talking about Jewish people. To where, like, the only way that I can get shit on by the black community is if I post, like, a link to a movie that talks about how, like, slavery wasn't real. If that was the standard, I'd be...
You can't even say they without people thinking, like, you're talking about the Jewish conspiracy.
Because everybody that says they is talking about the Jewish conspiracy. What do you mean?
That's not true. That's not true. If I say they, I'm not talking about the Jewish conspiracy.
Do you think when Kanye says they, he's talking about Jews?
Yes.
Do you think when Kyrie says they're talking about Jews?
I've never heard Kyrie talk about Jews, ever.
Okay.
I've never heard him say one word about Jewish people. I saw him send a link to a movie, which he may not even have fully understood. You know, like those were fleeting references. That wasn't like the overall point of the movie was that, you know, the Holocaust didn't happen. Like that was a fleeting moment in the movie that he may have caught, may not have caught. Like he never made any statement on the movie overall, and he got canceled for it. So it's like, miss me with that. You know, black people are especially sensitive shit. Yeah, like when you live in a country where you've been shit on for your entire existence in this country, you damn right people are going to be sensitive or wary about, like, you know, people who say things that don't sit right. You know, it's just you can't intuit somebody. You can't like say somebody's racist, like, or like you can't say for sure, like, I don't know if you're racist. All I can go by are the comments you make, the way you frame things, like your relationship to you know, black people or black issues. That's all we have to go off of. And if you're saying things like, you know what, fuck it, call me a racist. If you guys can't understand what I'm saying, or if you guys are too sensitive to, you know, to take a comment, then you know, then I'm just racist. What are people left with on that? Like, what are people supposed to think?
That I'm racist.
I mean, I don't think you're racist. I think that you are a white boy from. Hold on one second. I'm so sorry about that. I really apologize.
No, you're good.
All right. So yeah. So I guess we're just left with just, you know, having a. So like I said, I don't think you're racist. I think you're a white boy from Nebraska who didn't have much contact with black people growing up. You've been on the internet basically your whole life, so that's going to even lessen your contact with black people. So I don't get like too caught up in like if you're racist or if you're not. I just want to meet you where you're at and have conversations with you where you're at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
I'm not so interested in calling you racist, as in I'm interested in like understanding like your mind, like your frame of mind going into this. So like I said, back to like Angry Man, like you were insinuating that the only thing that you could say to him would be, about his race. Like that was the only comeback you could think of.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, so is that that's as far as is it you want to get into?
Well, I mean, I don't know what else I can say. I already explained it. I said that basically anything I say can be interpreted as being racist. If your interpretation
Well, no,
is I
but,
just
like,
wanted to like be racist, I mean,
no, I'm
that's
asking you.
fine.
I'm not. That's not my interpretation, Destiny. I'm really just asking you, like, what, like, so. In my mind, I could have thought of like 3 or 4 different things you could have said about him,
Like what?
You know, his appearance,
His appearance,
him wearing jewelry, him smoking a cigar, like he's trying to like.
You think I could? You think I could? You think I could make fun of a black guy wearing jewelry without somebody like making an implication about that?
That nut ass chain. Yeah, you could have said something about his stupid ass chain he had on his neck. What the? Don't have to be nothing to do with his race if he's wearing a stupid fucking chain. And sitting there smoking a cigar like he's some mafia tough guy.
Okay.
Or, you know, yeah, I mean, you could have said something about him being bald. I'm just saying, like,
maybe.
Was race the only thing that came to your mind in that
No,
moment?
I didn't say race was the only thing that came to my mind. I said anything that I say to him can be perceived as racist. That's the issue.
Okay. Now I'm understanding it better. Now I'm
Sure.
understanding. So that's all, I wasn't making any accusations with
Yeah,
that.
it sounded like it, but that's
and
all
if
good.
if I came off like I did, I guess I got to work on my delivery. And I hate because I don't want to use the phrase "I'm just asking questions" because that's a loaded term. But I really, like I said, I'm a long time viewer and listener of yours, and when there's things that I disagree with, these are the questions I'm asking myself in my head. So it's not like I'm coming on here like, boom, I'm gonna get Destiny with this.
Sure.
But
you understand that I would feel
good.
like really weird, and maybe this is just my inner white boy, but I feel like I could probably get in a lot of trouble if I'm on a podcast with a bunch of black dudes and I start saying shit like, "This is why you wear that horrible jewelry or whatever." That's gonna sound like I'm some old, like I'm in Gran Torino, like talking about guys with baggy pants or something. That's what it's gonna come off as, right?
No, no.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Not if you said like, look at that. I mean, you don't have to say nut ass, but look at that stupid ass chain you have on. That shit must be weighing down your neck. Or you know that what you could call it fake, or you can say it looks fake. There's plenty of ways you can come at him without it having like to.
It looks fake. What, like he's broke? Like you can't afford that chain? Bro, I want you to write me. Here's what I want you to do, okay? I want you to write me insults for the next, because I would get destroyed for saying shit like that. But I want you to write me some and I'll use them in my next. If I would accuse a black dude of having a fake chain, okay, maybe.
What? Why? What? Wait. Why would that be confusing?
I don't know. In my mind, I'm thinking like, what? He can't afford it because he's black and poor. He can't afford real jewelry. That's where like my mind would go, and I feel like that's what a million people on the internet would start saying. I'm talking about a black guy's like fake jewelry weighing down his neck, like I want to lynch him or something. That's where the internet comments are gonna go. Like 1,000,000% if I start making comments like that. There's like no way, dude. Like slavery, chains, all this. Like I don't know. I feel like there's a million different ways that I get canceled for these comments.
Oh my god, yo, it's so interesting to hear like just where people's minds can go. Okay,
bro, I almost got people trying to cancel me for 2 days for saying legion of black people. Like legion was like a loaded word, and I can't even through my like 50 million understandings of racism, even I can't connect that to like a racist comment.
Me neither. My best interpretation of that is that you said legion meaning like a whole bunch, and you were talking about 2 people. So they're like, what do you mean legion when you're talking about 2 people? I don't think people were trying to equate the word legion with having something to do with like black people. Was that really a criticism you were getting? Like the word, like the actual meaning of the word legion?
I don't know. It felt like people were bouncing back and forth between. They were trying to say it was overgeneralization, then they were trying to say it was a racist overgeneralization, and it sounded like they were trying to make it sound like it had to do with that word in particular, because people use legion a lot. But maybe I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't tell. I don't know. Online issues.
No,
it's a whole bunch.
It's interesting to hear your experience and your viewpoint, because what you just said about him, like you know, if you were to mention something about his chain, those thoughts never would have went through my head. But it's interesting to hear like your perspective on it.
Yeah, this is you don't understand the oppression that white people have when it comes to being racist anymore. Okay, because we can be racist in ways we don't even know. Okay, it's hard out here. It's hard out here.
I mean, back in the day, you just drop your N-bomb and keep it moving, and you didn't really have to think twice about it, right?
True. It's a different world out here for us white guys, okay? I'm totally going to go in on some dude's chain. I'm gonna see what happens, okay?
Do you know how triggered I was just sitting at home smashing my screen?
I hope you were ultra triggered.
You really think that black folks are the ones you can't talk about, and then all of a sudden, like, people come down on you hard? You really think that?
A little bit, but not because of black people, but because they right now are getting an explosive community online. Like, if I talk shit about like fucking Mexicans or Asian people, they don't really have the same online presence or communities as
Sure. If you said something about Muslims or Arabs,
No. Muslims, those motherfuckers are crazy too. They will. They come at you.
There's not even a comparison, bro. Like, I made a mild criticism of like some Arab states and the way that they treat their maids, which is like well documented. Bro, I got death threats. I got people telling like they're gonna cut off my head. I've never
The online, yeah, there's like a huge online Muslim debater community too. Yeah, the online Muslim people are wild. That's why Sneeko bitched out so hard. Remember?
Yeah. Sneeko's all about system bots. And the moment the Muslims came from, he said, "Mashallah." It's haram to say anything about Allah.
Oh yeah, true.
I love the Bible, but you know the Quran is kind of cool. You know what I mean? He got cut so hard. I still have that image of the Muslim man his values.
I'm never getting canceled by a conservative online. They have no power on the internet anymore. But my whole career.
Most black women, if you ask them, they love black men. They want them to do better. They want